What's up, guys? It's Charles here with Rocketpuncharmy to do a review of the KO Transformers masterpiece MP-23 exhaust. Normally you would see a comparison between the boxes to differentiate between the KO and the real one. No need to do that, since now they are going by the name of Takasa Tomy. So pretty much the same way they did Wheeljack. Now this one's special because it's the first Decepticon KO. And again, they've gone with the whole C thing here. I don't know. I know the KO Optimus Prime is made by Collection Kingdom. I don't know if these are. Maybe the C stands for that name of the company. I have no clue. But here's a box. It's your typical KO masterpiece box, which is very similar to the original. It's got the matte finish in the back. You got the shiny bits over the figures and logos. Down here you see the stamp as usual, all the warning logos. So overall the box is pretty much identical. I might have a little less contrast or a little darker pictures, but overall done very well. What I like about this, as I go ahead and open it, is the fact that, as most of you know, there's a big thing going on with these exhaust figures. Some people lost their pre-orders due to the whole fiasco with Philip Morris and whatever. So some people got them. I ended up being able to get the original. But this is great because not only can you differentiate between the KO and the original, but if you couldn't get the original, you still have the chance to get the figure. And as you can see right out of the box, it does look beautiful. All right, but before we really get into this guy, we'll show you the rest of the bits here. You get the shoulder-mounted launchers here with some missiles. You get the handgun. And off to the lower right here, we get the immobilizer bits. And right at the bottom is the instruction booklet, which comes with a little spec card. So we'll check that out. Alright, so here's the card itself, nice and glossy, excellent artwork, just like the original. We look at the back, you see the specs here. Alright, move right along. We get to this bit here, which is the instruction booklet. You guys are probably used to this from watching the other videos. It's just pretty much a scanned copy of the original. And here you get the little rear view mirrors that you can attach to the front in these peg holes. Now, before we go any further, I do want to thank tfdirect.com for sending this out. So if you guys end up liking this, you can click the link in the description below to get your own and use the code RPA5 to get $5 off. So having said that, guys, here is vehicle mode, and what I'm going to do is show you the original. So as you can see, side by side, they are very, very close. The only thing that's a little bit different is the Lancia seems to be a little closer here to the front than that. That could just be a placement of the tampo, but it is pretty consistent with some pictures I've seen. The Decepticon logo does have bigger spacing in the white area than the original. My copy of the KO actually came out very nice, but I know some KOs are not perfect. They have some issues. Here's the back. The taillights on mine are relatively done well compared to some of the pictures I've seen where they're a little bit sloppy. Mine does have a little paint drip there. Other than that, looks really good. There is something during robot mode, or actually during the transformation, that is a little bit of a problem with this one. So we'll check that out in just a bit. I think one of the biggest missed opportunities with this is just foregoing the actual direct copy of the original. They should have just done the whole Marlboro look. I mean, they've gone so far as to copying something. There's some illegality in that. They might as well just go for the whole thing. If they're not afraid of Takara just, crashing in their factory doors, I don't know if they should be worried about Philip Morris. I mean, these guys are probably good at what they do and hiding and whatever. I don't know. They should have just done that. Hopefully, one of you guys that make these in China end up seeing this video, and you should definitely do that. There's a lot of people that would buy that. Now, I won't be attaching the rear view mirrors. I'm just going to leave them as is because they're probably going to get lost anyway. And I always display robot mode. But yeah, so here's the car. You can see it rolls, and it does roll nicely. Now, if you're probably wondering, let's say you get one without a box in the future sometime, and you want to make sure it's not a KO. Well, down here, where it should say Tomy, it actually says T-O-N-Y. It says Tony, like Tony the Tiger. And right underneath, made in China, like normal. But that's the biggest telltale difference. So everybody can, sleep tight at night knowing they won't be buying a fake one. So we're not going to mess around, guys, and blah, blah, blah the whole time. So we're just going to go ahead and transform this. I will forego the whole sequential transformation gimmick that I do because I do want you to experience the whole transformation here. And I'm probably doing that out of order, but it's the way I do it, guys, here and there. One of the things is that these tabs here tab in really mega tight. You just have to twist it this way. They will pop out. which is a good thing because it actually does hold the figure together. One of the things that this one doesn't really do here, it's probably just misalignment somewhere, but the past like 2-3 times I've transformed this thing over here doesn't want to stay down all the way, and if it does, it ends up popping out. There's a big gap right there. This just will not tab. The KO does not have that problem. So we're just going to continue on here, pull the legs out, get these feet formed here, and because this is a direct copy, there's really no differences in the transformation. I haven't ran into any snags, nothing that I would consider, you know, something negative. It's exactly the same transformation. It feels the same. There's no issues with fitments or things tabbing in, except for one really major thing. I know the wheel jack one, I had issues with the shoulders. It ended up being just something misaligned. I did a fix video for that, so it wasn't actually really a problem, just some misalignment. As we're moving along, we'll go ahead and pop the head out right here. Close the chest, close this on the back here, bring it down. Now this is the part if you want to get the shoulders to not pop out easily. I couldn't even get them to pop out on this one, but in case you do, just make sure this black piece is as close to this bottom edge right here as possible to avoid the shoulders popping out. So you can see the shoulders do hold really tight. Bring the wings up here, bring this down. And here's one of the things, this little tab here, which is very important for the solidity of the transformed figure, does not stay tabbed in very well. You know, it's very easy to just pop out. I know a little bit of future nail polish will work, but just a heads up for you guys if that's going to be something that bothers you. But overall, just normal handling, it will stay in. Now here is the issue, and it hasn't really been an issue, but it kind of is. The figure does stay tight overall, but check this out. If we look underneath here, if I can get to it, all right, there's supposed to be, well, you see right here, there's a little hole, right? There's supposed to be a tab right in the middle, and it's actually missing that tab. It's not broken. I examined it. It looks like the injection molding didn't actually reach that part. It actually looks melted, as if the plastic was just about to drip into that part of the mold and didn't. But it doesn't actually affect the stability of the figure overall, but it might be something that might bother you guys. Now, is that the case on every single exhaust? I don't know. I don't own multiple of these, but this is the case on mine. Please, if you have the KO version, please let me know if that tab is missing or what issues you have. These videos are to inform all buyers of this. All right, so here we are. Looks great, feels great, very solid. I can't get this guy to wobble around. The only thing, and I know it's a big pain in the butt for a lot of collectors of Transformers, is loose parts. This is, I'm not going to say it's loose. It will hold its position, but if you shake it, the leg right here, the knee, you can put it in any position you want. It's going to stay there, but it's a little looser than, let's say, this one here, which holds a little bit better. But that's always been the case, even with original and KOs. But as a reviewer, I should tell you my experience with mine. And here is the original. So we're going to get the KO to look like this guy. We have these shoulder mounted cannons there. We're going to do the same with the KO. Same thing, you just slide the missiles in here. You got to look for this little notch here in the missile to be able to slide it in right. And just pop them on the shoulder here. I did notice the KO was a little tight in putting these in, which is a good thing, I think, so they don't pop out very easily. Not much tighter than the original, but a little more force than I'm used to, so I usually hold it down from here. Pop it right in, and the angle. This doesn't have the problem that Wheeljack KO had, which was falling down and I had to mod it. These actually stay up when you put them up. Next thing I want to do is attach the gun. If you open the hand here, the hands or the fingers that are together, much tighter on my KO than the original. The original is actually kind of flappy, the little hand there. So we're going to attach the gun, fold the fingers over, and it holds it nice. So now that I have those two guys set up in the background, let's get the immobilizer ready. On the original, I had a big deal or a big problem trying to attach this blue thing. Let's see, this is going to be the first time I'm doing it. And it actually goes on easily. I didn't want to force it too much in the original, worried about scratch and paint. But since this is a KO, I don't really care. But I don't have to force it. It goes right on. Then you get this little black piece that you put on the top here, just like that, and a little radar dish looking thing that goes right up here. And that's your finished immobilizer set. The detailing is good, the paint is nice, no complaints about this piece, so very good. Alright, so getting back to these guys, I know the whole KO thing, I've done a bunch of videos, people have made comments, I understand that, let's just skip all that stuff. In this case, this guy, the regular Japanese price was relatively low. I'm lucky enough to have gotten it for a low price because of the whole yen thing. All right. The thing is, though, because he was canceled, a lot of places canceled the pre-orders. Prices went up. Aftermarket prices went crazy. So a lot of people got pissed. They weren't able to get theirs. This KO is giving you a chance to have them for about 1/5 of the price of what people are asking for these on eBay, as long as you have no problems buying a KO. Again, very well done. It does have the issues. The biggest one, in my opinion, is that little tab missing, but as you can see, even if I hold it here, it really does nothing, and I'm holding it right by the edge. It really does nothing for this, stability of the figure staying together. The second issue is that it will have the, well, I can't even get it to pop out, but if this does untap from the back, it does make the the arms pop out like that, which can get annoying. So I would suggest a little bit of future polish if you do have that issue. Now, for some reason, the KO does seem to be a little bit taller somehow, even though the feet are adjusted to the same position. As a matter of fact, the Takara one is below the vents here, and this one is over the vents. Somehow the KO just seems a little bit taller. It might be something with the transformation, but I'm bringing these figures up close so you can see the head sculpts, all right? The left is the KO, the right is the Takara. I have to say the Takara, the jawline or whatever, is a little wider and rounder than the straight angled KO. So I tend to like the original better, but as you can see, they are a tad different. It might just be where they painted, but the way it looks here is it does look like it's not so much the paint, but the actual sculpt. The only thing there is left to do is to find out what the hidden face looks like on this guy. And as you can see here, it does have a hidden face. Unfortunately, it does suffer from the bullet hole right on his forehead. Now, there's no denying that exhaust looks great. But let's go ahead and check him out with some other Decepticons. Here he is having a little chat with Soundwave. And here he is telling Megatron some dirty jokes. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like, share with your friends. Click the button up above if you want to support the channel so I can keep this going. If you want to get any of the awesome pieces we saw here in the review, you can go ahead and click the link in the description for tfdirect.com. And if you spend over $55, use the code RPA5 to get a $5 discount. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Until next time, bye-bye.